partner for Sui as well. So we just launched private access on Sui a couple days ago, and then public access will be available in about a week or so. So I guess just to step back a little bit and kind of talk about why we're even in this space, in the Bitcoin space and building what we call BTC-Fi. So I'm not sure how many cycles you guys have been through, but I've played for some of the OGs. If you look at the statistics back in where DeFi Summer just started, back in late 2020, early 2021, the TVL for the crypto space was actually only at 1.5 billion at the start of DeFi Summer. But if you look at the end of DeFi Summer, actually DeFi grew about 200 times to about 300 billion. And if you look at BTC-Fi though, till today, the large majority of the BTC-Fi TVL is driven by Babylon native Bitcoin staking. So right now we're only about 6 to 10 billion range. So if you look at BTC-Fi, we're still super early compared to the entire DeFi space. But if you look at the cycle, after DeFi Summer, the industry kind of went through, if you look at the picture up there, beginning of DeFi Summer and everything crashes, and then we have 2022, the beginning of the bear market, and then we're kind of entering this slope of enlightenment at the moment. So if you look at the chart up there, it's actually very similar. The trend is actually very similar to what you can see of the DeFi trend in DeFi Llama today. So as an industry as a whole, we're still kind of going through this slope of enlightenment. And as you guys probably have seen on the news and everything, a lot of institutions, smart money, they have begun to kind of come into the space and either join DeFi or BTC-Fi. So right now, DeFi is here. We're kind of coming out of the delusion and entering this new era. So kind of just a little background on DeFi and why we should be pursuing it is because the product market fit is very clear. If you think about, I actually saw a tweet earlier today. Someone was saying if you don't understand value of DeFi, wait until you actually try cross-border transactions once. So that's why I mentioned product market fit is clear. And then if you kind of look back on the evolution of finance from telephone-based and then to digital to DeFi, DeFi just makes everything so much faster and efficient. Like I mentioned, the cross-border transaction typically takes 3 to 5 days, business days to process a transaction, and then the international wire fee is pretty expensive. But if you've done any transactions on DeFi, even in Ethereum mainnet right now, right, the cost is pretty low. It takes just seconds to minutes. And then if you're a trader, for example, you can't trade a stock 24/7, but in the crypto space, it's 24/7, 365 days nonstop. So I think previously a lot of institutions and people that are not super into the crypto space still have a lot of doubts into DeFi, either security or think it's just not that useful. But recently we've seen a lot of the big names, the TradFi people, even the U.S. government is kind of entering the DeFi and BTC-Fi space. So for example, specifically for Sui, they actually partnered up with Franklin Templeton to boost the DeFi innovation and ecosystem growth. And same for us. So we and Babylon and the other BTC LST partners, for example, Lombard, Sol BTC, are also working together to bring in the BTC and then BTC yield to Sui as well. And then the other examples, for example, BlackRock is making a lot of noises in the crypto space as well, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot of also like news and announcement next week in New York City Asset Summit as well. So a little bit more on SatLayer. So now we have seen, the product market fit is there. The BTC buy space is growing, and so how does SatLayer power the growth of this whole BTC buy space? So I think some of you might be familiar with Babylon. So let me kind of give you guys a brief introduction of what we do technically, and then how we work with these BTC buy partners. So we are actually the exclusively staking partner for Babylon, which for Babylon you can think of it as Ethereum because BTC doesn't have native yield. So if you stake your native BTC on Babylon, and then you kind of restake that through, for example, the BTC LXTs, the Lombard, the Sol, you get receipt token as the LXTs, and that would be the Lido of Bitcoin or BTC buy. And then as SatLayer, we actually take those BTC LXTs as collateral, and then we also have, for example, receipt token, and then similar to EigenLayer, we're working with the LRT issuers to issue. For example, we're working with Ether5, HelpDAO, Renzo in the space to issue our LRT token. So a little technical background, Babylon they have a single stashing mechanism, which means they can only secure POS chains. So what they call BSN, so Bitcoin Secure Network. So Babylon is working with a lot of different L1s or even L2s to provide shared security to them. But when it comes to any custom stashing, for example, for dApps, and then for like bridges, infrastructure, it would be us because we deploy a set of smart contracts on Babylon, which enable all of these programmable stashing conditions. And then, so we have only been, I think SatLayer has only been in the space for over, I think a year now. And since, we started this journey a year ago, we became Babylon's only restaking partner, and then we became Sui's BTC restaking partner last November. And we also participated as one of the selected dApps on Bearchain's Waco. So we are actually right now 10% of Bearchain's TVL. And then we are also working closely with, for example, Sui's top DeFi ecosystem projects to bring in not just Bitcoin liquidity, but also use cases for Bitcoin shared security as well. Also similar cases with Bearchain. And similar to EigenLayer, besides the TVL side of things, we also have what we call BVS, which is Bitcoin Validator Services, similar to EigenLayer's ABS. So our approach is a little bit different than EigenLayer because if you look at the ABS space, a lot of these ABSs are infrastructures. It's actually very hard to earn yield. So that's where everyone was asking, where does the real yield coming from? And to be honest, I don't think any of the ABS is generating actual yield at the moment. And so we are actually taking a different approach. We work with the established top-tier projects, and also we actually already started to work with some of the Sui top DeFi projects like CETAs, like Navi, to kind of just create customized BBS use cases according to their KPI. For example, some of the use cases might be for Lightning protocol. We might be able to design a restaked Bitcoin insurance fund when bad liquidation happened on the protocol. And then for example, for DEXs, some of the ideas might be auction market maker. So I guess for us, it's pretty flexible to work with all of these projects. And so our approach is working with existing projects where they already have, they have the ability to generate revenue. So that can, answer the question of where the yield is actually coming from. And some other highlight of the achievement, we have crossed 300 million TVL, and we actually work with all of the major BTC LSTs in this in this space, we take all of them as collateral, and then we issue a receipt token for each of them. So yeah, we are actually gearing up for our mainnet launch. Our mainnet should be live end of this month or early next month. So yeah, right now our our BTC LSD assets, and also just, the BTC LSD assets we work with are on Ethereum, on BNB, on Parachain, and also just launched on Sui. So on Sui, we work with Lombard LBTC at the moment, where you can actually mint native LBTC, which is Lombard LST. You can mint them natively on Sui, and then if you deposit LBTC to SatLayer on Sui, you can earn additional yields and provide share security as well. And then we are also working, so right now, because we're working very closely with Babylon is Cosmos, we currently only support Cosmos, but we're also working on EVM instance, and then also Move-based language for the Sui developers as well. So you should be expecting to be able to build BDS use cases on us in the next month or so, which is very exciting. And then some of the components that enable us to do it. So like I mentioned earlier, you might wonder, you have so many different LSTs on different chains, and how does that work to really secure, how does the share security actually work if your Bitcoin is on so many different chains? So we have this mechanism, what we call asset mirroring, which we take the BTC LSTs on multi-chains as collateral, but we also have an anchoring mechanism where we kind of mirror that back, like all of the LSTs on different chains, back to Babylon, which is the kind of the mother chain. And then, so in this case, we can have the BDS use cases in every chain we support. So I guess to picture that is, you have Babylon here, and then you have SatLayer where we bring all of the BTC liquidities to different ecosystem, and then you have the different DApps in different ecosystem that have the option to be secured by Bitcoin, or restate Bitcoin in this case. And yeah, so that's basically what we do, and some of our roadmap. So yeah, let's unlock BTC full potential together. Like I mentioned earlier, right now we are in private access on Sui, just launched a couple of days ago, and then we should have public access in about a week or so. So yeah, please check it out on SatLayer. And thank you guys.